Okay, here we go. This is the Alabama Football Review with me, Coach Bradshaw. How do you like my hat? I love it. And I may wear it more than once this season. We'll start off with a couple of rough games. The Florida Gators came to town and dealt Alabama a crushing defeat by the score of 35-31 on a last-second touchdown by the Gators to give them the go-ahead win. John Parker Wilson threw 2 interceptions, and the rushing game just never really got off the rushing game got off to a good start with 180 yards, and the passing game was 242 yards, but the defense just didn't seem to have an answer for the mighty Gator defense. Then we went to the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech. Alabama came into this game looking for some good outcomes, but it was not to be. The rambling wreck got lucky and pulled this one out in the end. Georgia Tech 27, Alabama 24. Stats were supposed to be entered by Georgia Tech, but have yet to be done. I have them written down. I may enter them later. Finally, we moved to the Florida State game. This game is at best questionable, but we will leave that for other people to go into detail. John Parker Wilson threw 4 interceptions, and Florida State took advantage of it. There was only 3 periods played, as miraculously when Alabama started coming back, they had to pause the game for technical difficulties, and somehow the game was restarted and Bama was booted. So the game was not completed. Enough on that subject. Next, the Virginia Tech Cavaliers come calling to the University of Alabama. Ranked number 14 and looking for something good to happen. DJ Hall had the answer for them, though, and it wasn't the answer they were looking. John Parker Wilson threw for 15 of 20, 436 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Glenn Coffey got the ground game going with 22 carries and 90 yards. The defense was stingy. They got no interceptions, but they didn't allow the Cavaliers to do much. This was a shootout from the word go, and it was a 42-52 victory for the Crimson Tide. Finally, we move on to the Virginia Tech Hokies. This game was circled on the Alabama calendar as Coach Homeslice had embarrassed Alabama last season, and we were looking for revenge. Alabama came out firing on all cylinders. Glenn Coffey ran for 20 times for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. While Nick Fanuzzi come in for an injured John Parker Wilson for 1 series, went 1 of 1 for 31 yards, and John Parker Wilson went 5 of 8 for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving was all Brown this time. 3 catches for 112 yards and 1 reception, while DJ got 2 receptions for 23 yards and no touchdowns. Virginia Tech had some big yards through the air, but just was too little too late. Their yards mainly come in the 4th quarter when Alabama was playing a prevent defense, and they were taking advantage of it. Virginia Tech got 424 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Bama also had a fumble return for a touchdown. Altogether, Virginia Tech turned the ball over a total of 4 times, 1 interception and 3 fumbles. One was returned by Matt Collins for a touchdown, and Bama was off to the races. Bama jumped out to a 31-6 lead before calling off the dogs and allowing Virginia Tech to make this look respectable. All in all, a great week for Alabama, and we look forward to next week when the Crimson Tide will entertain. Dun, 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 dun. We'll open the week up with Miami. Miami's been having a tough season of late. This season so far, they haven't played a game, so I guess they ain't had that tough of a season. Maybe they'll get caught up. I don't know. So we have no idea what they're up to. We also have to travel to Maryland and LSU, and then end the week with a trip to number 4 Tennessee. Number 4 Tennessee is looking to be tough. They defeated Virginia Tech 42-28, but that don't look so impressive now. Tennessee has a couple games to catch up on this week. My understanding is that their opponents are not showing up. Finally, LSU. Sources have it that LSU is coached by Coach Cajun, which means this could be an interesting game, but I expect Alabama to win it. The Maryland and Miami games, I have no idea what's going to happen as they've not played any games. All in all, I look for a 3-1 week this week to pull Bama to a total of 5-4 and get us soundly back into the playoff hunt. This will be a tough season, and I'm not predicting any great numbers, but Bama just might be back. Look out. I'm not as predictable as I used to be.